Queuing, it's a British thing, isn't it? People think we're happy to stand politely without making a fuss until our turn comes around.
Well, not anymore. Modern Britons are running out of patience with the queues. In fact, half of shoppers will not go into a store if they see a long queue, and we will only queue, apparently, on average, for 5.5 minutes before we give up completely. We managed to get some people to stick around long enough to ask them what they thought of queuing.
We all have to queue, it's a British thing, isn't it?
It's very difficult when you're short on time. It would be better if we had better queuing systems.
Oh, it's no problem at all, really. It's something that you're brought up to do over in England. It's not like being abroad, is it? You know, where they push and shove you out of the way.
The worst thing for me really is when people get angry, because there's no point in that at all.
I obviously would prefer not to, but it's, you know, part of life, something you do have to do, so not a major issue.
The worst queue will be post office. Like one time I was buying stamps and I literally stood there for 40 minutes just to buy stamps at the post office, yeah.
Minimal time, that's what I'd like to be queued for, and maybe some sort of entertainment and free drinks or something while I'm waiting.
She wants free drink.
Wouldn't we all
while she's
like
waiting.
that?
Yeah. What is it about queuing that makes us so mad, and what are retailers doing about customer service to shorten that time we spend queuing in line? With us now is psychologist Karen Cullen and Clare Rayner, who's a retail expert who advises supermarkets and fast food restaurants about this very science. Good morning to you.
Morning. Good morning.
Are we losing our patience with the queue?
Well, from what I've heard, a lot of people really are. And that's one of the reasons why technologies have been devised to help bust queues, that people go up and down the queues with handheld devices to actually take the orders within the queue, so that when somebody has actually been able to make their order, as it were, then they've been satisfied. And now all they're waiting for is the delivery. And, you know, that's one of the great ways that people are tackling the experience of standing in line.
Yes, Karen, why are we queuing for less time? Is it because we're used to better service, perhaps, or better systems, and we're just not prepared to put up with it anymore? Or have we simply become more impatient?
I think people's expectations are for better service. I think perhaps they're more aware of, you know, what the competition may offer. Yeah, I think there are lots of factors contributing to this.
Is this something retailers are very aware of, though?
Absolutely. I mean, it's the shift manager's responsibility to pull more staff onto the point of sale to serve more customers at busy periods. But sometimes there just simply aren't enough people, and there aren't enough tills available. The shops are completely full, Christmas time, sales time, so there becomes a queue, and you can't help that.
And Karen, it depends what kind of queue you're in, doesn't it? I mean, this is something we were discussing earlier. Somebody was saying if they're in a queue for a theme park, they're prepared to wait 2 hours for a ride because they know there's something good at the end of it.
Yeah, there are lots of things to take into account here. That, as you say, it's the reward for being in the queue, it's the conditions of queuing, it's the expectations, it's sort of incidental things that actually can't be factored into any sort of complex mathematical equations, as some people might lead us to believe. You know, sort of how people's mood states are, you know, what the weather's like, all sorts of things.
It depends how rare it is and how precious the item is, though, that you're queuing for. I mean, in the Soviet Union, they used to queue round the block for very simple things. And does that still apply, I suppose?
I think that is the case, and that's entirely the basis for a convenience retail model. People will pay more for instant gratification for certain needs, that they want something very quickly, whereas they'd rather queue perhaps in a supermarket to buy the same item at a cheaper price, and they're trading off their time versus the price.
Karen, as a psychologist, if you're called in to advise businesses on how to deal with queues, what would you say about how to manage how people feel?
Well, the starting point is to talk to their customer group, actually get some advice direct from them, find out what it is that they find helpful, do a kind of an appreciative inquiry, if you like, of the things that are going well and that people appreciate, and then do more of that. But at the same time, tackle the frustrations and irritations, because, you know, taken to their most, although this is a fairly lightweight topic, it can become very serious. And there have been incidents in the past where people's queuing impatience has erupted into very dangerous behaviours. So,
Indeed.
you know,
Thank you very
it's
much.
important to be clear.
See, if they gave us more information about where we were in the queue, or how long we'd be expected to wait, that might help, mightn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's hope they'll do that.
And some light entertainment.
And a drink.
And free drinks. Okay. Thanks very much.
Thanks. Queue long enough, you'd be
Not that we're asking for much this morning.
falling over by the time you get to buy your newspaper that you wanted to get.